The First World War left an indelible mark on India, entangling its resources and manpower. The war's end in 1918 brought economic hardship and political turmoil, with new taxes and soaring prices. The year 1919 dawned on an India reeling under economic hardship, social unrest, and disillusionment with the colonial government. The First World War sowed the seeds of Indian nationalism, fostering unity among India's diverse population. The Indian National Congress became a rallying point for self-determination. The stage was set for a new chapter in India's struggle for freedom. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi emerged as a leader, bringing the philosophy of Satyagraha.
My fellow Indians, I bring with me the philosophy of Satyagraha, the force of truth and non-violence.
Gandhi's arrival marked a turning point, transforming the Indian National Congress into a mass movement. Gandhi's return in 1915 marked a turning point in India's struggle for independence.
Our path to freedom lies in truth, non-violence and self-reliance.
His message resonated deeply, uniting Indians under the banner of Satyagraha.
Gandhi initiated Satyagrahas targeting specific instances of oppression.
In 1917, Gandhi launched a Satyagraha in Champaran, mobilizing peasants to resist exploitation. The success of these movements inspired others to join the fight for freedom. The British introduced the Rowlatt Act in 1919, igniting protests across India.
Gandhi called for a nationwide Satyagraha against the act. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre exposed the brutality of British rule, fueling nationalism.
The Jallianwala Bagh massacre became a symbol of colonial oppression. Despite repression, the spirit of resistance remained unbroken. Gandhi channeled the nation's anger into a powerful, non-violent movement. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre marked the birth of a mass nationalist movement. Gandhi's message of truth, non-violence, and self-reliance inspired millions. The Indian National Congress transformed into a powerful instrument for mass mobilization. Gandhi called for non-cooperation, urging Indians to withdraw from the colonial government.
Withdraw your cooperation from the colonial government in every sphere of life. The non-cooperation movement transformed India's fight for freedom into a mass movement.
The Khilafat movement aimed to protect the Caliphate, rallying Indian Muslims.
Let us forge a powerful Hindu-Muslim alliance. Gandhi's efforts linked the Khilafat issue with the non-cooperation movement, strengthening Indian nationalism.
Gandhi's alliance with the Khilafat movement bridged the religious divide.
The fight against British imperialism is a shared struggle. The alliance demonstrated the potential for a united front against colonial rule.
Section 3. The Power of Non-Cooperation, a Nation in Defiance.
With the Congress and the Khilafat movement joining forces, the stage was set for a nationwide campaign of non-cooperation against British rule.
Gandhi's call to action resonated with millions of Indians, who saw in it a powerful and dignified way to challenge the might of the British Empire.
The non-cooperation movement, officially launched in August 1920, called upon Indians to withdraw their support from all institutions and services associated with the colonial government.
Students were urged to boycott government-run schools and colleges, lawyers to refuse to practice in British courts, and government employees to resign from their posts.
The boycott of foreign goods, particularly British-made textiles, became a central plank of the movement. Gandhi urged Indians to embrace khadi, hand-spun and hand-woven cloth, as a symbol of self-reliance and resistance.
The spinning wheel, once a humble tool of rural life, was transformed into a potent symbol of the nationalist struggle.
The non-cooperation movement unleashed a wave of popular mobilization across India.
Cities and towns came to a standstill as hartals or strikes became a regular occurrence. Thousands of students abandoned their classrooms, lawyers closed their practices, and government offices stood empty as Indians heeded Gandhi's call for non-violent resistance. Section 4. Sacrifice and Solidarity. The spirit of non-cooperation. The non-cooperation movement was not merely a political campaign, it was a profound expression of national awakening. Millions of Indians from all walks of life willingly embraced sacrifice and hardship to demonstrate their rejection of British rule. Students, inspired by Gandhi's message, abandoned their comfortable lives in cities and towns to join national schools and colleges that sprang up across the country. Lawyers, many at the peak of their careers, gave up their lucrative practices, choosing to serve the nation rather than the colonial justice system. Women, traditionally relegated to the domestic sphere, played a pivotal role in the movement. They participated in picketing liquor shops, promoting khadi, and raising funds for the nationalist cause. The non-cooperation movement provided an unprecedented platform for women's participation in public life, challenging patriarchal norms and contributing to the growth of a nascent feminist consciousness. The movement's success, however, was not solely due to the sacrifices of the educated elite. Peasants, laborers, and workers, the backbone of Indian society, also played a crucial role. They participated in hartals, boycotted foreign goods, and refused to pay taxes, demonstrating their solidarity with the nationalist cause. In the bustling cities and towns of India, the non-cooperation movement manifested as a vibrant tapestry of boycotts, protests, and a resurgence of indigenous industries. The urban middle class, comprising students, intellectuals, lawyers, and merchants, played a pivotal role in this urban chapter of the struggle. Gandhi's call to boycott foreign goods, particularly British-made textiles, struck a chord with the urban populace. The sight of bonfires consuming piles of foreign cloth became a common occurrence, symbolizing a rejection of colonial economic dominance. The message was clear. India's economic liberation was intrinsically tied to its political freedom. The boycott movement breathed new life into India's indigenous industries. The spinning wheel, once relegated to the sidelines of the Industrial Revolution, became a symbol of national pride and self-reliance. Khadi, hand-spun and hand-woven cloth, emerged as a powerful alternative to foreign textiles, representing not just a product but an ideology. Gandhi recognized the importance of making khadi production not just a political statement but a viable economic alternative. He urged Indians to spin their own yarn and weave their own cloth, promoting self-sufficiency and challenging the colonial economic order. The urban centers buzzed with renewed activity as Indians embraced khadi, turning their homes into spinning, and weaving centers. While the urban centers buzzed with boycotts and the revival of indigenous industries, the non-cooperation movement also ignited the countryside, where peasants and tribals, long subjected to oppressive land revenue systems and exploitative practices, found their voice. The message of Swaraj, resonating through village squares and fields, took on a new meaning for the rural populace. For them, freedom meant liberation from the shackles of exorbitant land taxes, forced labor, and the arbitrary authority of landlords and colonial officials. In various parts of India, peasant movements emerged, challenging the existing agrarian order. From the indigo cultivators of Champaran to the farmers of Awadh, the countryside witnessed a surge of defiance as peasants rallied under the banner of non-cooperation. Tribal communities, too, joined the struggle, their traditional way of life disrupted by colonial forest policies that restricted their access to forests and resources. The non-cooperation movement provided an outlet for their grievances, uniting them with the broader nationalist struggle. Gandhi's message of non-violent resistance resonated with the rural masses, who, armed with their unwavering spirit and deep-rooted connection to the land, posed a formidable challenge to the colonial administration. The non-cooperation movement, despite its initial success and widespread appeal, was not without its limitations and internal contradictions. As the movement progressed, differences in opinion regarding its future course and ultimate goals emerged, exposing the complexities of uniting a nation as diverse as India. Within the Congress itself, a debate raged over the efficacy of non-violent resistance. While Gandhi remained steadfast in his belief in Satyagraha, some leaders, particularly younger members, questioned its effectiveness in achieving complete independence. They argued for a more assertive approach, suggesting that the time had come to demand complete Swaraj rather than gradual reforms. The Khilafat issue, which had initially served as a unifying force, also began to unravel. The abolition of the Caliphate by Turkey in 1924 dealt a blow to the movement in India, leaving many Muslims disillusioned. The incident exposed the fragility of the Hindu-Muslim unity that Gandhi had so carefully cultivated and sowed seeds of discord that would have long-lasting consequences. Furthermore, the movement's impact was uneven across different sections of society. While the urban middle class and certain peasant communities actively participated, other groups, such as Dalits and some industrial workers, remained on the periphery, their specific grievances and aspirations not fully addressed by the broader nationalist agenda. By 1922, the non-cooperation movement showed signs of waning. The initial euphoria began to dissipate, replaced by uncertainty and disillusionment.
The Chori Chora incident, where protesters clashed with police, deeply disturbed me. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of non-violent resistance.
Gandhi questioned the movement's trajectory and decided to withdraw it. This marked a period of reflection and reassessment for the Indian nationalist movement. The non-cooperation movement may have receded, but the yearning for Swaraj continued to burn brightly. The 1920s saw introspection and reorganization within the Indian nationalist movement.
After imprisonment, I emerged with renewed determination to challenge British authority. I chose salt, a symbol of profound simplicity, to resonate with every Indian.
The salt tax was a particularly egregious symbol of colonial oppression. Gandhi recognized the potency of this symbol, understanding its moral imperative.
In March 1930, I embarked on the historic Dandi March to ceremonially violate the Salt Law.
The march captured the imagination of the nation and the world. The Salt Satyagraha, ignited by Gandhi's defiant act at Dandi, spread like wildfire across India, transforming into a mass movement for civil disobedience. Indians from all walks of life rose in unison to challenge British rule. Bonfires of British-made cloth lit up the night sky as Indians embraced khadi, the symbol of self-reliance and resistance. Women, inspired by Gandhi's message, joined protest marches and picketed liquor shops. Students abandoned government-run institutions for national schools and colleges. Peasants refused to pay land revenue, challenging landlords and colonial officials. Section 3. The Unfinished Struggle. Limits, Legacies, and the Road Ahead. The civil disobedience movement, despite its remarkable reach and impact, ultimately fell short of achieving complete independence. The British government, though shaken by the scale of the protests, responded with brutal repression, arresting thousands of activists, including Gandhi himself. The movement also faced internal challenges. The Hindu-Muslim unity that Gandhi had so carefully cultivated during the Khilafat movement began to fray, with communal tensions resurfacing in some parts of the country. The issue of untouchability, despite Gandhi's efforts to address it, remained a point of contention, highlighting the deep-seated social divisions within Indian society. Furthermore, the movement's impact was uneven across different sections of society. While the urban middle class, certain peasant communities, and women played active roles, other groups, particularly Dalits and industrial workers, felt marginalized, their specific grievances and aspirations not fully addressed by the broader nationalist agenda. Despite its limitations, the civil disobedience movement left an enduring legacy. It demonstrated the power of nonviolent resistance on an unprecedented scale, inspiring similar movements for civil rights and freedom across the globe. It also exposed the inherent contradictions and moral bankruptcy of colonialism, further weakening its hold on India. Section 4. The Echoes of Disobedience, Shaping India's Future. The civil disobedience movement, though it did not achieve immediate independence, had a profound impact on the trajectory of India's struggle for freedom. It galvanized a nation, instilled a spirit of defiance, and forced the British government to acknowledge the growing demand for self-rule. The movement's legacy extended beyond the realm of politics. It fostered a sense of national unity, albeit fragile at times, and instilled a belief in the power of collective action. It also gave rise to a new generation of leaders, men and women, who would shape India's destiny in the years to come. The movement's emphasis on self-reliance and indigenous industries had a lasting impact on India's economic thinking. Khadi, once a symbol of resistance, became a symbol of national pride. Its production and promotion encouraged even after independence. The civil disobedience movement, though a chapter closed in India's struggle for freedom, continued to resonate, its echoes reverberating through the corridors of history. It serves as a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will to resist injustice and to strive for a just and equitable society. The unifying spirit of Indian nationalism. The early 20th century saw India's socio-political transformation. The independence struggle was a vibrant tapestry of diverse aspirations and sacrifices. Under Gandhi's leadership, The Indian National Congress unified these diverse currents. Movements saw active participation from peasants, women, students, and workers. Unity in diversity gave strength to the movement, leading to a new nation. Section 2. The Power of Symbols. Forging a national identity. The struggle for Indian independence was a battle for the soul of a nation. Symbols played a powerful role, serving as rallying points for a people yearning for freedom. From the spinning wheel, symbolizing self-reliance and resistance, to Khadi, representing indigenous industry and national pride, the Salt Satyagraha transformed salt into a powerful symbol of defiance. The tricolor flag became a potent symbol of unity. Section 3. The Dawn of Freedom Towards a New India. The path to Indian independence was long and arduous, marked by sacrifices and setbacks. Acts of resistance gradually chipped away at colonial rule. By the mid-20th century, the tide had turned decisively in favor of independence. On August 15, 1947, India finally shed the shackles of colonialism. The partition cast a long shadow on the celebrations of independence. Yet, there was a palpable sense of optimism and a belief in a future of dignity, equality, and opportunity.